This is a live website with a real URL that I created with ChatGPT Sites. I just typed one paragraph into ChatGPT, and 10 minutes later, I had a fully built out site with free hosting. But most people miss what's so incredible about ChatGPT Sites. Not only can you make sites like this, which have a working booking form that saves data, but you can also have ChatGPT automatically create private dashboards for you that you can access from any device to get real-time info that's relevant to you. Let me break down how this works, and then I'll share a bunch of awesome sites you can start building today. You can create ChatGPT sites using either the web app or the desktop app, and it works inside of both Chat and ChatGPT Work. For this demo, I'm using the desktop app and I have Work selected, but the process will be the same. All you have to do is come down to the prompt box, type in the @ symbol, and type the word sites. Once you see it pop up here, you can click on it, and then you can just describe what it is you want to create in plain English. So let's start with a really simple example. Let's say I'm a teacher and I want a website for my class. Here's the exact prompt I'll use. Build a class website for my 7th grade science students. I want a section that has this week's homework, upcoming test dates, class rules, and a study resource page with links I can add. Make it easy for kids to read, and let me update the homework section each week without rebuilding anything. Okay, fast forward, and ChatGPT is now done creating our site. You can see right here, it worked for about 13 minutes. Every site you create is going to take a different amount of time, but I found that generally about 10 minutes is pretty average. Scrolling down here, you want to click on this preview button. That's where you can actually view your website. It will open up on the right here inside the built-in browser. And what you can do is click on this expand panel to get a better look at it. And so this is our 7th grade science website. So a nice bold title at the top. And then we have a section down here with this week's homework. So we have each day's assignments and when everything is due. Over here on the right, we have the upcoming tests, and then we have the class rules here. We also have some study resources. All of these are clickable, so you can open up some of these resources for further studying. So overall, that is pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out, and it definitely looks very friendly, really approachable for a 7th grader. Now, here's the best part, because websites like this, we've been able to create these for a while now with AI, but the difficult part has always been publishing them. So what I will do is I will collapse this panel by clicking right here so I can see the chat now. And then I will click right here where it says share. Now on this dropdown, you can select who will have access to this website. It can be just you, or it can be anyone on the internet. For this one, since I'm going to be sharing it with my students, I'm going to select anyone on the internet, and then I'll click on publish. Then you'll have this button right here that you can click on to copy the link, and let's test it out. I'll come over to Safari, paste in that link, and there is our website. And that's it. That is a real URL hosted by OpenAI that anyone in the world can visit right now. No further setup needed, and if I need to change anything in the future, I can just come over to ChatGPT and ask it to make those changes to my site. It's that easy. Okay, so now that you understand how to create a site, let me show you how I've actually been using this. Some of these use cases are for more traditional websites, and we'll get to those. But I first want to show you the main way I've been using this, which is to create dashboards just like this one. Let me start with this one right here. This one integrates with any morning routine or daily routine that you have your agent doing for you. I know a lot of people like to have it go through their calendar and their email to surface anything that's important for the day and to give them a morning report. Those morning reports are great, but you always have to open the chat to be able to see them. So I had to create for me this dashboard that displays all this information for me. So here's kind of a brief overview of everything that's going on. Then here I have where it actually pulls in my calendar. All this is actually a mock-up of my real one because I didn't want to actually show you what's on my calendar and my email, but it looks exactly the same. Here it pulls in my tasks, and I can actually check these off as the day goes along. Then I have the important emails that are over here. And then that's in addition to it actually drafting the replies to the emails for me. Then it focuses in on the videos that I'm working on for the day. Over here, it pulls in a lot more information about my email inbox because that's really what I need the most help with. So all this can be totally personalized to what you need. I even have the weather up here, which is nice to see. So what's great about this is that I've had agents make me dashboards like this in the past, but the problem was those HTML dashboards were sort of hard for me to access. I would have to open up my computer to actually be able to see them. And there were ways you can get them online to be able to view them from other devices like your phone, but it was a little bit difficult. So this is a lot easier because now this dashboard exists. It gets updated every morning for me. And I have this site bookmarked on my phone. Only I can access it because it's private to me, but I just have to open up that bookmark and I can see this daily dashboard for me without actually having to open my computer. Now, when creating sites with ChatGPT, I've noticed it actually performs very well when you give it shorter prompts. Instead of focusing on how the site will work or even so much on what it will look like, I think it's more important to tell ChatGPT what you want the site to do and who it's for. Then it will tailor the usability and design around the end goal and user. To help you out, in the description of this video will be a site I created with ChatGPT Sites that has most of the prompts I'm using in this video. That's completely free. All I ask is that if you find it useful, consider giving this video a thumbs up and letting me know in the comment section down below. And what you'll notice with most of those prompts is that they are pretty short. I don't give a lot of details and I instead focus on the goal and the ideal user. So again, you can find that in the description down below, but let me now show you some of the other dashboards and sites I have inside that prompt guide. This next one is another productivity dashboard that I think is going to be helpful for a lot of people out there. This is my email triage dashboard. So every hour I have ChatGPT work now actually going through my email inbox and drafting replies for things and adding different labels to things that it thinks are junk. Nothing's ever sent for me, but it does that first pass for me. It's extremely helpful. But a lot of times when I open up the Gmail app on my phone, I'm not really sure what is going on. I don't have the full context. So this triage dashboard helps me with that. I can quickly come in here and see what's been going on with my inbox before I actually open it up. Again, saved as a bookmark on my phone. So it tells me on the last pass, it drafted 4 replies, it reviewed or has 11 emails that have been reviewed, and 3 actions that it completed for me. Because as part of this process, it doesn't just draft replies, it actually completes actions based on those emails. So if it sees that, let's say I got a contract, it will review that contract and let me know if there's any red flags in it, or if something has to be added to my calendar, it will add those things to my calendar, different things like that. So we can see all those actions completed right here. This section right here is just kind of like an FYI. It's emails that I don't really have to read myself. It's just some things I need to be aware of. And then over here are the emails that were actually drafted by ChatGPT work. So it's really helpful just to kind of look at this before I open up Gmail and start looking through the drafts that it replied for me. Now this next dashboard admittedly isn't going to be applicable to everyone, but it is helpful for anyone with a Fitbit or maybe some other health trackers. So let me show you what it does first and then how it works. So every morning it calculates this readiness score for me. That's based on how well I slept and other data like my resting heart rate and HRV. We have my sleep score right here, my nightly vitals, which again show HRV, resting heart rate, blood oxygen percentage, things like that. Here's more breakdown of how well I slept, my recovery trends, and how well I'm fueling. It's tracking things like calories. And then we have some AI suggestions over here. And obviously you can tailor this to whatever goals you have when it comes to health or fitness. Now, the reason I built this is because the Google Health app, which is what I normally use to view my Fitbit data, isn't very good in my opinion. And so I just like this layout a lot better. Now, there are several ways you can feed the data into this that it needs to build out this dashboard every day. But if you have a Fitbit, you can come over to this website, dashboard.exercise.quest. And if you do this from the built-in ChatGPT browser and click connect with Fitbit, You can log into your Google Health account and see all of your fitness data here in the browser, which means that ChatGPT can see all that data when it updates this dashboard for you every morning. That's what I've done on my other computer that actually runs this as an automation. There may be some other ways to do that with some other health trackers, but this is the easiest way I have found to get it to work with Fitbits. So just log into this website using your Fitbit login information, and then you can set up this health dashboard that, again, you can view on your phone or any of your devices. All right, let's move away from the dashboards, and I'll show you some other practical use cases for ChatGPT sites. First, if you have a business or you're starting one, this is a very easy way to create a website for yourself. This took about 10 minutes with just one prompt. I told it I'm starting a dog walking business. I gave it my services, how much I'm charging, and my availability. And I told it to also put together a form for me that anyone can fill out. So this is publicly available. Let's test this out. So I'll say my name is Paul. That's my email address. My dog's name is Bruno, and I'm looking for a walk on July 20th. From that time, he's friendly. Check out this box and send that along. Now, ChatGPT sites can also make a backend for your website that only you have access to. And that's what you're seeing right here. This shows me all of the booking requests that came through my website, and only I have access to this. So here is the submission for Bruno, which we just did together. And here's another one for Biscuit that I did earlier today. And what's great about this is that ChatGPT sets all of this up for you. You literally just have to tell it, hey, I want a private page where I can see all of the booking requests, but no one else can see them, and it will just set it up for you. This is a fun one for family members. I created this website to help every member of the family keep track of the chores that they've completed. So you could have this open maybe on an iPad somewhere centrally in the house. Then every time you finish a chore, you can just go and check off that chore. You even accumulate these points. So at the end of the month, if the kids have a certain number of points, maybe they get a prize for that. It's kind of fun. One limitation of ChatGPT sites, though, that I do hope they change soon, is if you come over to share, there's currently only two options. You can keep it private to yourself, or you can share it with everyone on the internet. There's no option to invite certain people. And I would love that option. Maybe the option to enter in the email addresses that the other members of your family use for their ChatGPT account. And then they'll be sent a link where only they can access the site and no one else. I think that would really make sites a lot better and a lot more useful in certain use cases. So I do hope they add that pretty soon. But I think the main way most people are going to use sites is for something like this, birthday parties and other quick events. This is one that I set up for my 40th birthday. I still got a couple of years before that happens, but you can see right here, it shows you what we're gonna do for my party and the time, and then here's an RSVP. Anyone can submit an RSVP, but then of course, only I can see who actually RSVP'd and what their song requests are, how many people are coming, the dietary notes, that's all in that backend that only I would have access to. So that is the new ChatGPT sites. I think it's probably ChatGPT's most underrated feature right now because most people are just using it for things like birthday parties, which is certainly great for that. But if you set up those dashboards, you'll unlock so many more possibilities. Next, if you want a full breakdown on everything you can do with the new ChatGPT Work, check out this video right here. ChatGPT Work is undoubtedly one of the most powerful AI tools available to us right now. So if you want to learn everything you can do with it, definitely check out this video, and I'll see you over there in 1 second. Bye for now.